Hey friends, we are live. I hope you can hear me. We're having a little trouble with the social media here out in the desert. I'm with Andre. Hi, Andre.
Hi.
And one of the things that I've been learning is there are two types of gas stations, and I'm learning this. We just filled up in Albuquerque, so maybe Andre, if you want to share what that experience was like.
Why don't we tell them about the first one?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you just came out, and why don't you tell them about your experience in the gas station, and then our conversation after that.
In Flagstaff?
Yeah.
So we're in Flagstaff, we're getting gas, no big deal. I go in, I love talking to people, I love like looking at details and finding ways to pull out stories from people, and I notice like little hand woven knitted sweaters for sale. And I'm like, oh, tell me about these sweaters, or I'm looking at the motivational posters in the bathroom, or the random tchotchkes for sale, or the Flagstaff map, and I'm just kind of like, it's just small talk with the lady at the register, and she was like, you know, next time you and your wife come by and you have kids, make sure to pick up a sweater.
What, she invited you back?
She invited me back to the gas station, Andre Henry. She invited my family back.
She invited your whole family?
She invited my imaginary family. It doesn't even exist yet.
That's hilarious.
And I was invited back. So she invited me back to the gas station. I don't think anything of it. I go back outside, the wind is whipping around me, and we get in the car, and I'm like, and Andre's like, so what happened? I'm like, what do you mean what happened? So Andre, what happened?
I asked Michael what his experience was in the gas station, because when I walked in, I didn't notice any motivational posters or anything like that. I just counted how many people of color were in there. There was one other person of color besides myself. And I realized as I was walking, okay, there's this older white gentleman, and I realized that I almost called him sir.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? I thought to myself, why did I almost call him sir? Like, and then I started thinking about my entire my entire, performance in this gas station. That like I'm being extremely deferent and demure, and more than that, I'm like actively engaging people, smiling at them, not making conversation, but letting them know that I'm there. Right. In the same way that you might let somebody know that. I thought about like how when Philando Castile got stopped by the police, and he let them know that he had a concealed carry in the car, that he has something dangerous. So I'm making people aware of my presence in the same way of saying, I'm here. I know that a lot of people think that people that look like me are dangerous, but you are not in any danger, because I am this polite and I am this joyful. And I'm an introvert, and I've been shaped by living in New York, where you don't really make eye contact with people and talk to them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm doing something that's unnatural and intentionally engaging people so that they know that this black man is not going to rob you. He is not a threat to you in any way.
You feel like a burden of social etiquette.
Right, like I found myself practicing this racial etiquette, and then I found myself like thinking about like how I got upset because I didn't even realize that I was doing it until like I was almost out of the gas station, and I'm like, why in the world did I just put on that performance, and how did I do it so quickly without even intending to? I didn't actively do it. Like it's an instinct now, I think, from just practicing that from a long time. And I found myself tired.
Right.
Like I was like, wow, like I'm fatigued. And this is partly why, like, I've just been fatigued pretty much driving this whole way, and driving does make you tired, but I felt like, no, it's not just the driving, it is every time we stop and get out of the car in these unfamiliar spaces, I'm like putting on this show.
You feel this pressure to make sure that everyone else feels safe, and meanwhile, I'm like having, polite conversation or small talk with people out of like a hobby, like an interest.
It's just fun.
Like, oh, fun! I'm going to talk to this person and see what I can learn about them. But for you, it's like, I want to stay safe, and I want to make sure that other people don't view me in the stereotype that I know they are viewing me in.
Also, also exactly that stereotype, and trying to, like, in another way, feel like I need to show them that that stereotype is not real. So I already walk in, like, kind of feeling this burden of, like, saying in the way that I'm behaving that everyone is safe.
Right.
And black people are good people. Like, proving that from the moment that I walk in. And that's why I asked you, you know, like, do white people feel that pressure when they walk into a public space,
right,
to show everyone else there that white people are good people?
I can tell you the answer is no. The answer is no, and my whole life I've only viewed gas stations as a stop along the way.
Yeah.
Like I've never thought of a gas station as a space that you have to negotiate.
Yeah.
And I think hearing you, the reason why we're doing this Facebook Live thing really quick is we just stopped at another gas station in Albuquerque on the way to Tulsa, and we had again two very different experiences. And this time Andre decides, like, I'm gonna see what happens when I'm just gonna relieve myself of this pressure. I'm just gonna relieve myself of the burden to change the stereotype and make sure people feel safe. And of course, what happens?
Well, I walk in and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm not putting on this show this time. Like, I'm a good dude. Like, I can just walk in here, pay for some gas, and, you know, be done. So I walk in and I notice to my right, the store is pretty large, and there's a counter that wraps around pretty much the entire store. So I notice to my right there's a security guard, stationary, standing there, just looking at the store. I notice him, and then I get in line. As soon as I get in line, he starts inching toward me.
Yeah.
I get called to the cashier that's on the other side of the store. I walk around to the other side of the store. The security guard walks around to the other side of the store and is right behind me. And, like, black people talk about this kind of all the time, about, like, how we're followed more often and watched more closely and all that kind of stuff. And so I actually walked in and I looked at him and I noticed that he's a person of color, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to assume that this person is going to surveil me more closely than other people.
Right.
But I feel like that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and then meanwhile, like, my experience of going in there is just like, I see the security guard as just part of the mental furniture. Like, it's not even a second thought. I walk past him, and I'm the suspicious one. I'm the suspicious one because my credit card was declined because we're traveling across the country, and my credit card the company doesn't know that we're doing that. So Andre's doing nothing wrong, and I'm going in with a declined card, and no one's even paying 2 seconds of attention on me. So
that's why I asked Michael, where was was there a security guard in there? He said yes. Where was he? Because my thought was, I bet that security guard is still standing in the last place that he was watching me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sure enough, he was.
Yeah, he was. And I think for me, it's not like Andre's experience is an experience I've never had. But that doesn't mean that he's somehow, like, twisting it's not his fault. Like, he didn't choose his body, he didn't choose his skin, he didn't choose his hair, although he did choose his dreads, and they do look amazing. I will say that. But his experience was completely different than mine, based on all these, like, racial layers that I've never had to think about. And I think that's been kind of a lesson of this trip right now, because every gas station we go to, we're having two separate experiences of the same thing. A place that's supposed to be a normal stop along the way, and my friend Andre is feeling this burden to perform, where I just need to go to the bathroom, you know, or pick up some Fritos or something like that. So it's been an interesting lesson to kind of think about these two different gas stations that we're stopping at.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say to people while we're doing this?
No, I just wanted to share that experience. This is partly why I asked, you know, someone This is partly why I asked a white male to come with me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel like I was in any danger, especially because it's like it's the middle of the day. You know.
Yeah.
But it's because of like going into spaces like that, you know, in unfamiliar places by myself, that I wanted someone to come along with me. Because like we talked about, like at the other gas station, I was like, having you with me also says something about what kind of black person I am.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like even that might like have somebody like think of my presence as less threatening.
Right.
You know? Because he's with a good white person, you know?
Man. Oh.
I'm gonna start walking into places and be like, blessings be upon you all. I come in peace.
I can go before you with red carpet, and you can roll down it. Just like,
greetings, Caucasians, Anglo-Saxons, Europeans. Fear not.
Fear not. My people are from Jamaica.
Behold, one of your people is with me.
Yeah. Oh,
I probably
man.
can't U-turn. I was gonna stop at this McDonald's, but now I'm like, ooh, there's a Sonic.
Oh man. Okay, let's figure out this food situation.
Well, this left turn must be a U-turn because there's no way I mean,
left turn, agree. Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We'll definitely check back in.
what did I say?
Road trip continues. What?
We got a comment.
What did you say?
I think so.
Much love, guys.
Stacy, hey.
Yeah, so we'll definitely check back in. We'll try Facebook Live again. I got a post coming up on Fuller's Facebook page pretty soon. You know, text us or message one of us if you guys have any questions, or if you have ideas for what you'd like to see on these accounts while this trip continues. And today is
Day 3,
Albuquerque to Tulsa. So we'll have plenty of free time to talk and play around on social media because we'll be bored out of our minds on the Texas stretch.
Yeah.
So thank you guys, and talk to you later. Bye.